Hello and welcome to Hodge-Cast. What is your challenge? I'm your host, Daniel Hodges. I'm someone who's faced one or two challenges in life, and my lived experiences are the catalyst for this show, where each episode I interview guests who chat about a time in their life with life stories and times they've overcome adversity. Before we start, if you're enjoying the show, can I please ask a huge favour, if you haven't already done so? Can you please hit that subscribe button? It grows the show more than I can do justice. And with a bigger show, we get a larger platform that can attract better guests with more inspiring stories for you all to enjoy. It literally takes 2 seconds, is completely free of charge to do, and enhances our profile massively. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start today's much anticipated show with the iconic Wayne Lineker, I'd like to introduce you to this episode's sponsor, Finn Footwear. Finn Footwear isn't just another footwear company, it's a testament to passion, perseverance and the pursuit of excellence, where fashion meets function in the most exceptional way. A concept created by two friends and their love for fashion, but frustrated by the lack of truly remarkable trainers on the market. Their journey led them to Finland, a place synonymous with happiness and minimalistic aesthetics. Inspired by Finn Footwear was born. Every pair of shoes is meticulously designed with both style and purpose in mind. From the minimalistic aesthetics to the carefully curated colour palettes, every detail crafted to perfection. Finn Footwear have set the bar high for excellence and understand their customers refuse to settle for compromises when it comes to selecting their trainers. What's more, Finn Footwear isn't just about making great shoes, they're also about making a difference. For every pair of trainers sold, they'll donate £1 to mental health support, a cause close to their hearts and ours. So to all our listeners out there who value quality, style and making a positive impact, I urge you to check these guys out. Links to their website below. Welcome back to the Hodge-Cast podcast. Today I'm joined, well, he doesn't need an introduction, does he? Mr. Ibiza himself, the one and only Wayne Lineker. What makes this even more special is we're actually recording in the infamous Ocean Beach with the main man himself. I mean, talk about manifestation, but I'll shut up for a bit, Wayne. How are you today, mate? Thanks for coming on.
Very well, feeling fresh today, and look, beautiful day in a beautiful place on a beautiful island. What more can you want?
Gonna sum it up better myself. Before we dive into this, Wayne, I have been following you like most people for quite some time, and have you still got a bit of an obsession with Greggs from back at home? Greggs, the pastry pie shop in England.
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah, I did that video about my addiction to Greggs sausage rolls, and it still applies.
Still applies.
And
well, I think
that's the only thing I miss in Ibiza.
Well, do you know what? We've got Nando's. An actual surprise. Well, there's no Nando's, unfortunately, but I brought with me, just to confirm, other pastries and pies are sold out there. But got yourself a Greggs sausage roll. Flew in all the way from Manchester, England, that way.
Seems pretty fresh.
We kept it nice and cool for you.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, I prefer
I'll enjoy that for sure.
Oh. Happy days, mate. Just a little gift from us to you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
So I suppose what I do with most of the guests, kind of strip it back to the foundations. Obviously, everyone knows you as this big success story in Ibiza. But talk to us about growing up. Where did you grow up? When did you first identify the entrepreneur attributes?
Well, I grew up in Leicester with a very nice family. My mum and dad both passed away now, unfortunately, but had a nice upbringing, obviously, with my brother. There's just the two of us. And, I was in Leicester, in a place called off Braunston Road. I was born in the house, actually, a second child. You used to be able to born in the house in them days. And, and I grew up there. And I was probably 10 years old when I started working weekends on the fruit and veg market with my dad.
Okay.
He had a fruit and veg market business, and he had that for it's been in the family for 75 years at the time, and it was just passed along to each child, and obviously my brother took the footballing route, and I just took the route of working on the markets with my dad, and and then I was 14 and I left school, didn't take any exams, went straight on the markets with my dad. By the time I was 16, he gave me some of the stores, so I went on my own. And and it just developed from there, really. And by the time I was 17, 18, I had about 20, 30, 40 people working for me.
Nice.
It's just developed from there, really.
So would you say that you always had that entrepreneur embedded in you from an early age? Have you always had that work ethic, that drive?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice it at the time, but I started, like I say, I was going to the fruit and veg market, to the wholesale market, buying stock, and at a very young age. And I didn't realise at the time. I just thought it was a natural thing. But I look back now and think, well, that's I was buying pallets of bananas and pallets of strawberries and apples and potatoes and all that at a very young age. And so I guess I had a little bit of a head start regarding business-wise. But yeah, like I said, I didn't realise it. But as I look back now, it's pretty cool what I did.
Yeah, laid the foundations for all this and so much more.
And then obviously as I grew up on the markets, and around 24, I was about 24, 1985, that sort of time. And I noticed a big decline in the markets because all the one-stop shops started opening up, Sainsbury's and Tesco's, and it just took a big, because everyone used to travel to the city centre for the fruit and veg, and it just went like that. And I thought, I need to get out of this. So I had an idea. Excuse me. And I had an idea of my parents, my wife's parents at the time, Dwayne and Sean's mum, Debbie. Her parents lived in Tenerife. We used to visit them a lot, and at that time, Gary was on fire. My brother, he's captain of England and just won the Golden Boot. And I thought, how can I take advantage of my second name, because it's my name too. And I thought, I'll open a bar in Tenerife and I'll call it Lineker's. And that's what I did. And then I went in 1986. I went to move to Tenerife, and then it was late '86, and then '87 I opened my first bar. I found a premises, and it went from there.
Nice. So obviously Lineker's opening up. I'm sure a lot of our listeners will remember that. Maybe some of you even partied there as well. What set that apart from other bars? Because obviously that was the benchmark for your success. What was so different and niche about that to others?
I mean, it was a sports bar / fun pub, and I noticed at that time there's a very aggressive securities, like bouncers and stuff, in all the venues, and I noticed that people were getting them into the bars and then getting them pissed and then throwing them out, aggressively throwing them out. And I thought, it's not right, so I thought, let's let them do what they want. If you want to dance on the tables and chairs, and let's not throw them out, let's encourage it. So I turned that around, and it worked, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's amazing in there. You can do what you want. You can jump and dance on the bar top. You can dance on the tables, and and it was just a very friendly atmosphere, and everyone loved it. And that was a turning point, really, because everyone was just talking about it, saying how great it is, and what bit of fresh air it is, was that nobody was getting thrown out, and obviously within reason. But that was. And we used to get all the live football, because back then there was no Sky Sports, there was no nothing. And I used to have a mate in England. I had a phone in the bar. We used to connect the bar phone to the speakers. And we used to have live radio commentary of all the games. And no one else was doing it. No one knew I was doing it. And I used to get packed for the football events. And then it became the home of football when you're abroad, and it still is to this day. All the Linekers for the Euros this year are going to be packed, and we cracked it on both sides, really, on the fun side, and everyone having a laugh in the bar, and then football and sports, and during the World Cup, we used to sell thousands of T-shirts, and everyone at the airport in Tenerife had Lineker shirts on, and it was a real success. And then we started opening them in various places: Gran Canaria, Magaluf, Ayia Napa, and obviously Marbella. So it just went from there.
It's a fascinating story how obviously you've built up your foundations, become an entrepreneur, and also a kind of niche there, like you've touched on back in your second name, obviously your brother Gary being on form, and it's worked, and it just goes to show that hard work, dedication, and a tiny little bit of luck as well
of course,
goes a very, very long way.
I mean, I used to work I mean, I don't work so hard now. I'm just sort of
You've earned that rest, though, mate.
I enjoy it more now. You know, obviously I take the pictures. I take a lot of pictures and stuff like that. But I enjoy that. It's fine. But yeah, back in the day, I used to work really hard. I used to do the DJing, buying the stock, accounts, everything. You name it. I was 16, 17, 18 hours a day. But I absolutely loved it. And and then obviously as we grew, my management team became bigger and stronger, and then I'd taken on partners like Tony Truman for Ibiza. He approached me. He was my partner in Ocean, obviously. He approached me, and my son Dwayne used to run Lineker's here and a partner in that, and then the three of us sort of got the idea of opening the beach club together. Well, Tony actually sat me down and said we need to open the beach club in Ibiza. We were in Marbella at the time, and we just chatted about it for hours, and then he came back here and he called me. He said, I found the premises. I said, have you? He says, where? He says, come on, I'll meet you there. So I went and met him. I was stood on the street, on the road up here, and we walked in, and it was an old wedding venue. A Spanish family had come to the end of their career, should we say, and it wasn't really doing a lot, and they agreed to let us have it, and we did an agreement with them, and here we are.
So you've acquired the land, you've got Ocean. What, in fact, let's strip it back. Where did the name come from? Where did Ocean Beach come from?
Well, it's O Beach now.
O
actually.
Beach, yeah.
We changed the name a few years ago due to legal reasons, actually. But I mean, people still know it as Ocean.
Yeah.
But, we were actually O Beach Ibiza now. So yeah, I don't know, just from Tony really and myself, just having a chat, and we came up with the name, and it's stuck, and yeah, like I say, it's now O Beach, but yeah.
And it's such a cool name as well. Like it's amazing how that hadn't been done. That name hadn't been taken prior, sort of thing. O Beach as well. It's and it's everyone knows it. O Beach, Ocean. Yeah, it's.
I mean, all the all our designs and our logo and everything. It all stands out. The orange cup.
Yeah.
Bit of marketing genius that from Mr. Truman, because obviously if someone's got an orange cup in there, and you know exactly where they are.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
How many of those would you say probably get stolen or pinched? Because I've seen a lot of these all over the world on Instagram. Like, you're not at Ocean Beach there, you're not at O Beach there.
I mean, it's become a fun thing, really, because I always say to people, if you can get them out, then you can keep them. But our security are very good, and they find them in the strangest places. But I mean, obviously it's become iconic, the orange cup, and people obviously want to take one home if they can. But,
oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy getting one out. Trust me.
I know. Well, I was going to attempt it myself today, but after reading the security thing, I
might be able to give you one.
Oh,
you're not a bad lad.
There we go, my man. Cheers, Wayne. So obviously we touched on Lineker's, being vastly different at the time, it being a fun place but also a sports place, and that combination worked. Did that transition immediately success into O Beach, Ocean at the time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously O Beach is a lot different to what Lineker's is. Lineker's is a fun pub, and this is a huge beach club.
Yeah.
So there's a lot go into a day in Ocean. The production, with the cranes and all the production plays a huge part for us. And it's very obviously Instagrammable. A lot of pictures are taken here, a lot of pictures are posted on here. We owe a lot to Instagram, as it made us a household name very quickly. And so it's just a fun place to be. I mean, the thing is with Ocean, it's such a sociable place. You can come with 10 mates or 10 girls, and all of a sudden you're speaking to people on next beds, and the beds are over there, and you're chatting up birds there, you're chatting up guys there, and it's just very sociable. Yeah. And that's I think it's the magic formula of Ocean.
I think everyone who comes here, certainly, I mean, admittedly, I've not been IB for a few years now, which and I'm blaming COVID because of it. But every time I've been Ocean, everyone's here having a good time. I think everyone just the vibe and the positivity.
Yeah, well, that's it. Everyone's just happy. It's the daytime. They're all fresh from. Well, sometimes they're not fresh. Sometimes they come straight here from a night out. But generally, people tend to make that their day now. I think people now book their flights around the beds at Ocean just to make sure that if they want to come on a certain day, you can book your flights and then no beds be available. So now people have started booking the beds before the flights, which is mad.
I mean, it gets booked up really quick as well. My production guy behind the camera, he was having a look before, and like it's sold out now for weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it really does have that hot commodity. Just going back to the marketing side of things, obviously you said you owe a lot to Instagram, but I think, when did you first started noticing more, let's call them higher profile celebrities were coming, or was that something from the off because of Lineker's?
Something from the off, really. I mean, we used to get a lot of England footballers in very early days, the very early 2012, 2014. In them years, loads of it was like a PFA meeting in June after the season. So it's just evolved from there, really. Obviously get a lot of singers in, people are playing at Ibiza Rocks and stuff like that. They'll come and have a day out here and that sort of thing. So
I mean, one of the big ones, I suppose we have to touch on this because it went viral. Ed Sheeran was here.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't booked for an act or anything. He was here on his holiday, wasn't he? So I'll let you tell the story, Wayne. You'll do it better than me.
Ed comes every year, really, to Ocean, or most years. He didn't at COVID, but that was the only time. Hopefully he'll be back again this year. But yeah, he came up to Tony and myself, and because we're having a date, we always have a few drinks with him, and he's just said, I fancy singing. So we're like, okay. But he comes with the same group of people every year. He flies them all out on a private jet, all his mates from school. He's been doing it ever since they left school. Super nice man, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And so yeah, it's the same group of people, and he was in a good mood, and I think he'd had a couple of wines, and he just said, "Yeah, I fancy singing. Is it okay?" We're like, "Well, yeah."
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, and it was funny. It was on the day that all the musicians were in, because once a week we have all the musicians in, and obviously those four of them. There's a violinist, there's this, that, and the other, and a guitar, and so for them it was a great moment. So they got all set up, and it was just fantastic. The atmosphere for the people in the venue was very special, because it was a total surprise to us, let alone them.
I mean, imagine being here on that day, and next thing you know, you've just paid for access to get in. Next thing, Ed Sheeran's on singing all the songs. That's brilliant. Obviously, we've had other people as well. I was going through sort of the list of celebrities who've been here. We've been here all day if I named them all. But one that struck me, Dan Bilzerian, he made a
he came, but he was very disappointed. Dan.
I was going to say, what was he like?
It was pretty boring, to be honest. On that day, I don't know whether he's hungover or it was just having a quiet day, but he came and he sat on the bed and didn't do a lot.
Just chilled out.
Didn't even have a drink, I don't think. But,
Did he not know?
But he had all his girls there and all his entourage. So yeah, I mean, it worked well for us, because it's great to see him. And but yeah, it was a little bit quiet that day. But I'm sure there must have been a reason for that.
Oh, definitely. I think one of the what's become a bit of a staple now for everyone who visits, not just at O Beach but Ibiza in general, is pinning you down for a selfie. Would you say, Wayne, you're the most selfied man? Maybe not, I don't know if that's official, or have you spoke to Guinness World Records or anything yet? Have they been in touch?
Yeah, I mean, it's become a thing, isn't it? You can't go to Ibiza and not have a selfie with Wayne Lineker, which is great. But yeah, I mean, I can't see anyone that has any more than me.
No,
to be honest.
I mean, what's good about it?
It's like 200, 300 a day now. It's like 2,000 a week, which is a lot.
Does it ever become too much, like, or is that just like it's become like oxygen and air that we breathe, water that we drink for you?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the time of day. I mean, if it's 2, 3 in the afternoon, everyone's nice and lovely and polite, and then 4 o'clock they get a little bit. By 6, 7 o'clock, everyone's a little bit. A little bit more hands-on, should they say. So it can become a bit much when everyone's drunk and and you're sober, and it's like
you want to tell them where to go.
But generally, I enjoy it. It's a nice thing, and
it's a testament to your character, mate, because I think it's you could be one of those people. Obviously, you're high profile yourself now, Wayne. You could have that ego about you and tell people to do one. The fact that you jump in
I could never say no. That's my problem. I can't say no.
No.
I just don't have it in me. If someone says, "Oh, can you have a picture?" I'll go, "No, not now." I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I have to, So yeah.
But I think that's great. I think that's a good quality to have, mate. I really do. Where's Old Beach? Obviously, we know it's successful. Of course, it is. Look at it. But how's Old Beach in Ibiza doing at the moment? Is it still as strong as ever? Getting even bigger, better?
We're getting stronger every year, to be honest.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we're very happy with the way things are going. We obviously have set targets every year, and we've managed to reach them every year since we started, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, COVID was a different kettle of fish, but yeah, that was a disaster. But aside from COVID, yeah, we've progressed in a very, very good and strong way. Yeah.
How did you cope during that time with COVID? Because obviously all the hospitality took a hit, and certainly tourism. I remember you posting a photo, obviously again with the humour in you, Wayne, like sort of just you on your own in Old Beach with no people. Because how was that? Because like the amount of people who's here, you're so accustomed to, like we touched on, having that positive energy, loads of people around, celebrities here. How was that time period for you? I know it was strange for everyone, but for you personally, how did you cope?
It was tough because it's not just this business. All our businesses are in hospitality. You know, it's like 20 odd businesses are all completely destroyed. Yeah. You know, overnight. You know, like it's just beyond belief. So it was very tough, and it took a long time to recover. But at the time, I remember a particular moment when they called quarantine in Ibiza and flights abroad, etc. in Spain, and it was a Tuesday in August that I came here. I thought I'll go and have a look at 7 o'clock at night. I'll go and have a look. Normally I walk in on a history day, 7 o'clock at night. Everyone's all dancing, singing, fucking drinking and partying and having the time of their lives. You know, it's packed. And I walked in, there's 14 people in here.
Wow.
2 beds were taken. I just got in my car, I just cried my eyes out.
Man.
It's terrible. Yeah. But yeah, it's not so much for the financial, obviously that's a big strain, but to see people not enjoying this and not having the times that they deserve, their yearly holidays, and because that's what gives me the buzz here, seeing people having such an amazing time. And it really is.
It really hits home for you that day, yeah.
Yeah, it hit home, bad that day, yeah. But yeah, we've recovered now, and we're on fire, so we're happy.
Happy days. So, success of the businesses, fantastic. Yep. You've always been quite a charitable guy, but you're doing it more so recently. You've palled up with Henry. Do you want to just tell the listeners what it is Henry's doing? Because it's quite an incredible feat, but I'll let Wayne deliver it for you.
Well, I had a DM from a young lad called Henry Moores, and my social media manager Alicia, she spotted it. She checks my DMs as well as myself. And that particular one she sent to me. She went, "Look at this guy, who wants to walk to Ibiza." I went, "What?" She said he's already walked to Paris, so I think it's worth a conversation. And his DM was like, "Yeah, I really want to walk to Ibiza. Would you support me?" Yeah. So obviously I said yes, and he came to my house and we sat down and we did that little interview I posted on my Instagram, and basically he's walking from Manchester. I don't know why he chose Manchester. I'd have chose Portsmouth if I was him, but he's from Macclesfield, which is down the road. But he decided to walk from Manchester to Ibiza, and and he's now 42 days in. It's going to take him 66 days altogether, I think. He arrives here on the 16th of June.
Well, I think when this episode goes out, he'll have done it by then. So that'll be an incredible feat, and what a guy, Wayne, supporting him. What's the charity he's doing it for? A little bit about that.
It's for the Tony Hudgell Foundation, which is a young boy who got, he had a very tough childhood. When he was a baby, he lost his legs and through abuse and stuff like that. And it's a very sad story. But he's now created his own foundation, and which helps people that are in a similar position to him. And we chose this one because obviously the boy's got no legs, and we just thought with the walking thing it all fits together well. And his family are beautiful. So we're very proud to be able to say that we're raising a lot of money so far. So we're very happy that for the Tony Hudgell Foundation.
Yeah, Well, that's that just adds even more inspiration to
Yeah.
the story, and I love it. I love seeing the posts. I followed Henry on social media. Obviously, by the time this episode goes out, it'll have happened.
Yeah.
But you're still going to be wanting donations to come in.
Yeah, of course.
So all links to all these, is it Just Giving or GoFundMe or GoFundMe page, everything will be put down in the comment section. So in the caption. So we'll get a big push on that. Come on, dig deep. I know times are hard, but after Wayne's just described that, what an incredible cause.
Yeah,
Let's get as many pennies over as we can.
Yeah.
Obviously Ibiza, Old Beach, we've touched on that a lot, but you've also transitioned to other places, most recently Dubai. How did that come about, or was that something in the works for a while?
It's been in the works for years.
Okay.
We actually had another venue secured, or more or less secured, years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, just before COVID, 2019, I think. And we're all very excited for it then, and then that, due to COVID and for other reasons concerning the venue and the surroundings of the venue, we had to pull out. And then it's took us all this time to find the venue of our dreams, which we have now.
Fantastic.
It's an amazing spot, and you're very excited. It's going to be very, very similar to here. It's the same formula here. If it's not broke, there's no need to fix it, is there?
Of course.
So very excited, and and I think a lot of people in Dubai are excited for us to come as well.
I can imagine it. I've seen the photos. It looks incredible on the little bits I've seen. I can't wait to go there myself. And Dubai as well. Just ticking all these places off, Wayne, across the world.
Yeah, I mean Dubai was obviously out. I mean we will be venturing into other places as well, but Dubai was obviously the next stop for us, really. Ibiza, Dubai, and then we'll see where it takes us from there.
Goes. World domination. Just bringing it straight back to Ibiza. Now, normally this question we would tail it around challenges and what people have overcome and what have you. But I think while we've got Mr. Ibiza with us, could you give us might put you on the spot a bit here, Wayne, but I'm sure you can string something together. Give us 3 reasons you'd encourage any of our listeners. I'm sure they already have anyway, but if they haven't, encourage them to come to Ibiza.
Well, number 1, Ocean Beach. I mean, obviously the nightlife is key in Ibiza, and it is amazing. There's so many incredible nightclubs and beach clubs and restaurants, and number 1 is the nightlife. Number 2, which is unknown to people, really, generally, especially the Brits, the beaches. The beaches are incredible. If everyone didn't get so hungover all the time, they would notice what a beautiful island it is. You've got the most Calaconta, Calatree, Calabassa, all these Salinas, all these amazing beaches, and the water's just incredible. So I'd say, and the beaches and the beach restaurants, that's 2. 3rd reason, it's just such a beautiful spiritual place. You step off the airplane, you kind of feel it. I mean, there's a rock called Esvedra. It's the most spiritual rock in the world. It's the most magnetic rock in the world. I would say spiritually, and the feeling you get when you're here, it's like no other. I mean, there's Dubai, but that's not. You don't get that. It's not like the soul Ibiza's got. The soul of Ibiza is incredible, and it's a very addictive place. People come back time and time again because they just feel so comfortable here. I'd probably say those 3 things.
I think that's summed up beautifully, because when I stepped off the plane, I'd not been Ibiza admittedly for 5 years. As soon as I got out off the plane, the cameraman was felt the same as well. It was just like, wow, it all comes flushing back, and I think that is that spiritual.
I call it
vibe.
the Magic Island.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. That's what it is. It's the Magic Island. It's
so sensational, isn't it? Wayne, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks so much for your time. You've helped this manifestation come to light. It's. Do you know what? It's not even felt like we've had a camera crew. I've just felt like I've had a good chat.
I didn't know they were filming.
Yeah, exactly. But what's next for you today, mate? Have you got time to go for a little drink off camera?
I'm gonna be heading here today. Obviously, Friday's big day.
Yeah.
A few pictures, I guess.
Of course, yeah, most selfie man in the world.
I'm actually going to my restaurant, Cheeky One, tonight at 7 o'clock with the family, so that'll be nice with my granddaughters and my son and my daughter-in-law and my other son, Sean. So we're all having a little family dinner tonight at 7 o'clock, so that'll be nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. There you go, the Magic Islands.
Keeps me grounded.
Of course, yeah, of course. But Wayne, it's been an absolute pleasure,
Cheers,
mate.
Hodge.
Thanks so much for your time. Top
You
man.
too.
I've been Daniel Hodges. This has, of course, been Wayne Lineker, and you've been listening to the Hodge-Cast podcast. See you later. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we believe you can definitely take something away from today's guest. We couldn't attract guests such as this without a solid fan base. The best way we can grow the show is through subscriptions. So, if you haven't done so already, can I please ask you hit that subscribe button and help us continue to put out content for you all to enjoy. Until next time, stay blessed.